break it down now. Go down now.
Hi everyone, I'm Amy of Group 4. Here is the outline of Chapter 8, Planning Work Activities, and I will present the first two parts, the what and why planning, goals and plans. So, what is planning? As we know in Chapter 1, planning is a management function that involves setting goals, establishing strategies for achieving those goals, and developing plans to integrate and coordinate work activities. When we use the term planning, we mean formal planning. In formal planning, specific goals covering a specific time period. These goals are written and shared with organization members to reduce ambiguity and create a common understanding about what needs to be done. There are 4 reasons for managers to plan. First, planning provides direction. When employees know what their organization or work unit is trying to accomplish and what they must contribute to reach goals, they can coordinate their activities, cooperate with each other, and do what it takes to accomplish those goals. Second, planning reduces uncertainty by forcing managers to look ahead, anticipate change, consider the impact of change, and develop appropriate responses. Third, planning minimizes waste and redundancy. When work activities are coordinated around plans, inefficiencies become obvious and can be corrected or eliminated. Fourth, planning establishes those goals or standards used in controlling. When managers plan, they develop goals and plans, and when they control, they see whether the plans have been carried out or the goals met. Numerous studies have shown generally positive relationships between planning and performance. First, formal planning is associated with positive financial results, higher profits, higher return on assets, and so forth. Second, doing a great job of planning and implementing those plans plays a bigger part in high performance than how much planning is done. Third, in those studies where formal planning did lead to higher performance, the external environment often was the culprit. When external forces, think governmental regulations or powerful labor unions, constrain managers' options, it reduces the impact planning has on an organization's performance. Finally, the planning performance relationship seems to be influenced by the planning time frame. Now we move to goals and plans. Goals are objectives, are desired outcomes or targets. They are often the essential elements of planning. They guide management decisions and form the criterion against which work results are measured. Plans are documents that outline how goals are going to be met. They usually include resource allocations, schedules, and other necessary actions to accomplish those goals. As managers plan, they develop both goals and plans. We can classify most company goals as either strategic or financial. Financial goals are related to the financial performance of the organization, while strategic goals are related to other areas of an organization's performance. Stated goals are official statements of what an organization says and what it wants its stockholders to believe its goals are. However, stated goals, which can be found in an organization's charter, annual report, public relations announcements, or in public statements made by managers, are often conflicting and influenced by what various stakeholders think organizations should do. Real goals, those goals an organization actually pursues, as defined by the actions of its members. Actions define priorities. The most popular ways to describe organizational plans are breadth, time frame, specificity, and frequency of use. Strategic plans are plans that apply to the entire organization and establish the organization's overall goals. Plans that encompass a particular operational area of the organization are called operational plans. These two types of plans differ because Strategic plans are broad, while operational plans are narrow. We define long-term plans as though with a time frame beyond 3 years. Short-term plans cover 1 year or less. Any time period in between would be an intermediate plan. An organization can use any planning time frame it wants. Specific plans are clearly defined and leave no room for interpretation. A specific plan states its objective in a way that eliminates ambiguity and problems with misunderstanding. Directional plans are flexible plans that set out general guidelines. They provide focus but don't lock managers into specific goals or courses of action. A single-use plan is a one-time plan specifically designed to meet the needs of a unique situation. In contrast, standing plans are ongoing plans that provide guidance for activities performed repeatedly. Standing plans include policies, rules, and procedures. In conclusion, these type plans aren't independent. Strategic plans are usually long-term, directional, and single-use, while operational plans are usually short-term, specific, and static.
Hello everybody, I will present to you approaches to setting goal. Approaches to setting goal include three main parts: traditional goal setting, means and change, and management by objective. So let's start with the first one, traditional goal setting. An approach to setting goal in which top managers set goal and then flow down through the organization and become sub-goal for each organization area. This traditional perspective assumes that top managers see what is the best because they see the bigger picture, and the goal passed down to individual employees since they working to achieve that. And exhibit 8.2 will give you the downside of traditional goal setting. The problem with traditional goal setting is when the top manager define an organization goal, such as increasing the profit, and that goal has to be specific as they flow down to the organization. Second is means and change, an integrated network of goals in which the accomplishment of goals at one level serve as the means for achieving the goal or ends at the next level. And last but not least, management by objective, and you can call it MBO. It's a process of setting mutually agreed upon goal and using those goals to evaluate employee performance. So in a simple word, MBO is using goals to make sure employees are doing what they are supposed to do. Secondly, they are used to motivate the employee as well, since they focus to employees that have a hand in setting the goal. And exhibit 8.3 will give you the typical step in MBO program. Manager can follow these 5 steps in goal setting because seeing the goal provide the directions and the direction for manager decision and action. And now we move to consistency factor in planning. 3 consistency factors affect the choice of plan is organizational level, environmental uncertainty, and length of future commitment. So the first factor, organizational level. The exhibit 8.5 show the relationship between the manager level in the organization and the type of planning done. For the most part, the lower level manager do operational level planning, while upper managers do the strategic planning. The second factor is length of future commitment. Commitment concept. Current plans affecting future commitment must be sufficient long term in order to meet those commitments. The third one is environmental uncertainty. When uncertainty is high, plans should be specific but flexible. And as the manager, you must be prepared to change or amend plans as they are implemented. At times, they may even have to abandon the plan. Now we move to approaches to planning. Approach to planning. In traditional approaches, planning is done entirely by top manager, often assisted by formal planning manager department. And formal planning department is a group of planning specialists whose sole responsibility is helping to write organizational plans. And now is common temporary issue in planning. And how can manager plan effectively in dynamic environment? In uncertain environment, managers should develop plans that are specific but also need to be flexible. Manager need to recognize the planning is an ongoing process. The last question is, how can managers use environmental scanning? Environmental scanning, screening information to detect emerging change. Competitor intelligence, gathering information about competitor that allow manager to anticipate competitor action rather than merely reacting to them. So that is the end of chapter number 8, and really thank you for you to listen.
To the case application 1 of chapter 8, the result planning at Life Strong Foundation. Sorry. Okay, here's the summary. In 1996, Lance Armstrong found out about his testicular cancer. 1998, he founded the Life Strong Foundation in order to aid the cancer's victims. In 2012, the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency made evidence against him guilty of doping in public. Okay, 814. Could an organization even plan for the type of the situation? If yes, how? If not, why not? Okay, so here's my opinion. I think that they can't, because an organization cannot plan for something this spontaneous, because the crisis happened too unexpectedly and extremely quickly, so the managers didn't have much time to handle the situation. How would goals be useful in this type of situation? What types of goals might be necessary? The goals in the situation is to separate the foundation from the people causing this crisis. Lance Armstrong. In these examples, the CEO are showing that they are capable of managing the public relation control. The CEO manage another goal for this foundation is to raise funds from the other partners, from the sponsors, in order to stay alive. What types of plans will be useful to Life Strong? Explain why you think this plan would be important. First, they have to distance themselves from Lance Armstrong. They have to change their name from Lance Armstrong Foundation into Life Strong Foundation. They have to keep the foundation alive and focus on the reason why the foundation was formed is to add cancer victims. The plans are important because there are lives that needs the foundation helps, and the foundation was established for many reasons. The last question: what lessons about planning can managers learn from last strong hand do? Managers have to plan things related to trauma about their reputation, just in case something happens. They have to always prepare for the worst situation. They have to always stick to the original purpose in which the plans were made for.
Hello, and now I want to present to you the case study 2 of chapter 8 and the case application 2 shifting direction. First question is S18. What do you think roles will play in the planning the trend in direction for the company? And list some goals you think might be important. As it is the answer to the question. Strong goals trickle down from the top managers and inspire open employees to work towards them. They also allow the company to move forward with changes in the environment. 3 goals that will be important for a company will be to completely serve the needs of the customer, to have an environment for integrity and respect, and to have which employees feel welcome in the company and successful. Question 8.19. What types of plans will be needed in an industry such as this one, and explain why you think these plans will be important. And here you can see that the plans for technology companies like Garmin need to be extremely flexible as the market for these devices is constantly changing. Having flexible plans will allow them to have and take technological changes in stride and continue to focus their efforts on. The question 8.20. What contingency factors might affect the planning Garmin executives have to, and how much those contingency factors affect the planning? Executives of Garmin may have the big goals they want to accomplish with shifting in a whole new direction, but it will take time to transition the company, system, and structure to make these future commitments. Therefore, their new ideas may have to be longer-term goals in order to meet them. Environmental uncertainty is when the factors of changes in the external environment are unknown, especially in the marketplace. So managers have to prepare to change when necessary or go with the flow to speak. The last question of the case study. What planning challenges do you think Garmin executives face with continuing to be the global market leader? And how should they cope with the challenges? I strongly believe, this company just needs to remember they are a global leader. So many competitors are vying to be in their position and one of them. They must have a planning as an ongoing process, constantly wanting to improve on top as well. They should utilize environmental scanning by screening information to detect emerging trends and be ready to follow or move with those trends. They must also stay up to date on their competitor so they can anticipate what they might do next instead of being caught off guard, just reacting to them. And in summary, the company limited a producer of the satellite navigation equipment is changing its strategy due to the popularity of smartphones. However, Using smartphones with navigation applications has some drawbacks. As a result, they developed a new device called the dashboard mounted navigation. All over the world, Garmin Limited have so many partners and very big partners, the giant in the automaking industry, such as Chrysler, Honda, Toyota, and so on. However, to continue the innovation and production of the GPS devices, because so many people still used to using them.
Okay, so what is strategic management? Strategic management is what managers have to do when they want to develop the organization strategies, and it is a combination between strategies and business model. So what is strategies and business model? Strategies are planned steps for the organizations to take in order to compete successfully or to achieve its goals. And the business model is how the company going to make money, profit. Why is strategic management important? The most important one is that it can make an impact in how well an organization can perform. It can help the managers to become flexible to react to the changes of the business environment. Moreover, strategic management can improve the teamwork of the organization since its environment is diverse. The strategic management process. The strategic management process has 6 steps. The first step is that identifying the managers have to define the goals for the organization. Step 2, do the external analysis. During research about the general environment, many focus about opportunities and threats. Step 3, doing internal analysis. Doing research about the weakness and the strength of the organization. Step 2 and step 3, people call that the SWOT analysis. So it stands for strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. The step 4, formulating the strategies that managers have to develop and evaluate the strategies, strengthening the weakness against the threats that the organization may face. Implementing simply just apply it to the real life. And the final step, evaluate the result. As if it worked, whether what changes have to be made to improve more.
So now let's move on to corporate strategy. Corporate strategy is an organizational strategy that determines what businesses a company is in or wants to be in, and what it wants to do with those businesses. A strategic business unit, also known as SBU, is the single independent businesses of an organization that formulate their own competitive strategies. There are 3 types of corporate strategies. The first is growth strategy. It is the expansion into new products and markets. The second is stability. It is the maintenance of status quo. The third is the renewal. It is the examination of organizational weaknesses that are leading to performance declines. As you'll see on the slide, it is the exhibit 9.3. There are 3 types of organizational strategies: corporate, comparative, and functional. To be detailed, the growth strategy is a corporate strategy that is used when an organization wants to expand the number of markets served or products offered through either its current businesses or new businesses. Concentration focuses on its primary line of business and increases the number of products, offers, or markets served in this primary business. The vertical integration, there are two vertical integration, the backward and the forward. The backward vertical integration is when the organization becomes its own supplier. The forward vertical integration is the organization becomes its own distributor. And the horizontal integration is when a company grows by combining with competitors. The diversification has two types, the related and the unrelated. The related diversification is when a company combines with other companies in different but related industry. The unrelated diversification is when a company combines with firms in different and unrelated industry. The stability strategy is a corporate strategy in which an organization continues to do what it is currently doing. The renewal strategy is a corporate strategy designed to address declining performance. The retrainment strategy is a short-run renewal strategy used for minor performance problems. And the turnaround strategy is when an organization's problems are more serious, more drastic action is needed. Have you ever asked the question, how are corporate strategy managed? It is managed by the BCG matrix. It is a strategy tool that guides resource allocation decisions on the basis of market share and growth rate of SBUs. There are 4 categories: stars, goals, question marks, and dots. The comparative strategy is an organizational strategy for how an organization competes in its businesses. The comparative advantage is what sets an organization apart and its distinctive edge. For example, the quality as a comparative advantage, design thinking as a comparative advantage, and sustaining comparative advantage. Now, the 5 forces model. The 5 forces model industry attractiveness and profitability. The first is the threat of new entrants. How likely is it that new competitor will come into industry? The second is the threat of substitutes. How likely is it that other industries' products can be substituted for our industry products? The third is bargaining power of buyers. How much bargaining power do buyers or customers have? The fourth is bargaining power of suppliers. How much bargaining power do suppliers have? The fifth is the current rivalry. How intense is the rivalry among current industry competitors? And now I want to present to you how to choose a competitive strategy. The first strategy is the cost leadership. It is when an organization competes on the basis of having the lowest cost. Costs are expensive, but not prices in its industry. The second is the differentiation strategy. It occurs when a company that competes by offering unique products that are widely valued by customers. The third is focus strategy. The strategy involves a cost advantage, cost focus, or a differentiation advantage, differentiation focus in a narrow segment or niche. Fourth is the stuck in the middle strategy. It happens when costs are too high to compete with the low-cost leader, or when its products and services aren't differentiated enough to compete with differentiator. Last but not least, it is the functional strategy. Functional strategy is the strategies used by an organization's various functional departments to support the competitive strategy.
So let's move to current strategic management issues. An organization's strategies are usually developed and overseen by its top managers. An organization's top manager is typically the CEO. This individual usually works with a top management team that includes other executive or senior managers such as COO, CFO, CIO, and other individuals who may have various titles. Organizational researchers study leadership in relation to strategic management because an organization's top managers must provide effective strategic leadership. So, what is strategic leadership? It is the ability to anticipate, envision, maintain flexibility, think strategically, and work with others in the organization to initiate changes that will create a viable and valuable future for the organization. Exhibit 9.4 shows key dimensions for effective strategic leadership. When managers use the strategic management process, there is no guarantee that the chosen strategies will lead to positive outcomes. The key is responding quickly when it's obvious the obvious strategy isn't working. In other words, they need strategic flexibility. The ability to recognize major external changes, to quickly commit resources, and to recognize when strategic decisions were a mistake. Exhibit 9.5 shows suggestions for developing strategic flexibility. In today's environment, there are three important strategies: e-business, customer service, and innovation. Managers use e-business strategies to develop a sustainable competitive advantage. Cost leaders can use e-business to lower costs in a variety of ways. For instance, it might use online bidding, order processing, inventory control, recruitment, and hiring. A differentiator might use internet-based knowledge systems, online ordering, and customer support. And finally, a focuser can use this strategy for chat rooms and discussion boards targeted websites. An important customer service strategy is giving customers what they want, which is a major aspect of an organization's overall marketing strategy. Second, having an effective customer communication system is also an important customer service strategy. Managers should know what's going on with customers. They need to find out what customers like and dislike about their purchase encounter, from their interactions with employees to their experience with the actual product or service. It's also important to let customers know if something is going on with the company that might affect future purchase decisions. Finally, an organization's culture is important to providing excellent customer service. This typically requires that employees be trained to provide exceptional customer service. Innovation philosophy is shaped by two strategic decisions: innovation emphasis and innovation timing. An organization that fails to bring a product innovation to the market or to use a new process innovation is called a first mover. Being a first mover has certain strategic advantages and disadvantages as shown in Exhibit 9.6. Let's move to case application 1, fast fashion. So before we start to answer all the questions in the book, let's first look at the summary of the case in case you don't have time to read it at home.
So, Inditex is the world's largest fashion retailer by sales worldwide. It has 7 chains, as you see on the slide, and among those brands, Zara accounts for more than 60% of the company's revenue. So this case simply provides a detailed analysis on the work performance of Zara, business models, growth change, and its competitive advantage. The first question: How is strategic management illustrated by this case story?
Strategic management includes 4 basic management functions: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Its business model is sell high fashion localized to price conscious human beings. And as we mentioned in this case, is fast fashion getting designs to customer quickly.
The second question, how might SWOT analysis be helpful to Inditex executives and to Zara store managers?
So, SWOT analysis is helpful to our business, Inditex executives and Zara store managers because it is an analysis of the company's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. By doing the SWOT analysis, the Inditex executives can study the opportunities for the company to grow and expand. They can also study about the threats to the company, like negative trends in the external environment. An internal analysis trends of Zara is that stores are stocked with new design twice a week, which is very quickly because clothes are shipped directly to the stores from the factory.
The third question, what competitive advantage do you think Zara is pursuing? How does it exploit that competitive advantage?
For Zara, the competitive advantage is fast fashion. They ship directly to the stores from the factory and get the designs to the customer quickly. Furthermore, Zara has exploited its competitive advantage because it used to take clothing industry 6 months to get their designs to the public. Now it takes only about 2 weeks to get a new design from the drawing board to the stores. They also exploit their competitive advantage by stocking the store with new designs twice weekly. Each aspect of Zara business contributes to fast turnarounds.
The fourth question, do you think Zara's success is due to external or internal factors or both?
From my perspective, Zara's success is due to the internal factors. His staff ability is so efficient and effective that they can go from design to storefront in only 2 weeks. As being mentioned in the book, sales manager sits a long row of computers and scrutinize sales at every store. They see the hits and miss almost instantaneously, and handful workers who monitor the entire process.
The last question, what strategic implication does Zara moving to online retailing have?
Zara's strength lies in the ability is to use technology to monitor changes in sales and then respond by producing new garments in a quick time frame. This responsiveness to customer references will be a good match to the demands associated with internet retailing.
Hello everybody, I will present to you chapter 9, case number 2, rewind and replay. So the case number 2 is about how people change their style in watching movie due to the development of technologies, and how Netflix changed to meet the demand of the consumer. So Netflix is well known for the world's largest online rental service, and it has long held a position of reigning monarch in the online video streaming industry. So after reading the case number 2, I think there are 4 questions that need to be answered. The first question is, using further framework, describe Netflix competitive strategy. So due to the limit of time, I will give you 2 among 5 of them. Suppliers don't put a lot of pressure on Netflix. The company must keep enough DVD in stock to handle consumer demand. But that hasn't changed much. The second one is substitution. Customer could choose to go to see the movie in the theater, but that isn't a very comparable situation. At movie theater offer new movie for about $8, while Netflix offer old movie for flat $8 to $16 a month, depending on the service, DVD streaming or both. The next question is, what competitive advantage do you think Netflix has? It has its resources, capability, or core competitiveness contribute to its competitive advantage. So the biggest advantages of NextBlend is the ease of delivery. The consumer just need to go online to order the video that they want. Delivery can be by email, usually a couple of days, or by online, which is immediately. So NextBlend had partnered with electronic companies such as Samsung that allows the online delivery to be played through the consumer television set. So these resources and capability give NextBlend a key advantage over the other delivery method and competitor. The third question is, how will NextBlend functional strategy have to support its competitive strategy, and explain. So NextBlend functional strategy most certainly support its competitive strategy implicitly. The competitive strategy employed by the company is to deliver movie to the consumer in the easiest, most cost-effective and convenient way as possible. Besides that, NextBlend had moved to create value by fostering relationship with companies like Microsoft, the maker of PlayStation, Sony, and a host of others who provide vehicle for NextBlend to market their movie. So NextBlend is currently working on making all their movie available through this method, since it helps them save money and implemently a more competitive strategy functionally. And the third and the final question is, what do you think NextBlend is going to have to do to maintain its competitive position, especially as its industry changes? So the future of NextBlend can only remain stable as long as they continue to use a defender strategy to work against the competitions. The main advantage is at the point enjoyed by NextBlend is their low subscription fees. Cable and satellite company drop and up almost $7 for a single movie, while Netflix subscription-based service allow the consumer to rent unlimited movie for one low monthly fee. They must continue to maintain competitive pricing, ease of service, and great service in order to maintain their viability in a changing industry. So that is the end of our speech.